Have you ever watched someone get vulnerable, and it felt a little too perfect? The tears hit at the exact right moment. The story lands with the exact right weight, and suddenly you're thinking, I can't doubt them. I have to help. I have to forgive. But then you notice something. That emotional moment didn't just happen. It moved you. What if that raw honesty wasn't weakness, but a calculated play? Today we're decoding emotional leaks, those seemingly accidental bursts of vulnerability that in some cases are controlled exposure designed to disarm you. Before we start, most vulnerability is real, and healthy vulnerability is the foundation of genuine connection. This video is not about turning you cold or suspicious of everyone. But in dark psychology, there's an uncomfortable reality. Some people use emotion as leverage. And the most effective leverage isn't intimidation. It's making you feel guilt, pity, or obligation. What is an emotional leak? For our purposes, an emotional leak is a moment of emotional exposure that flips your internal switch, from skeptical to sympathetic, from neutral to protective. The problem isn't emotion itself. The problem is intent and outcome. Ask yourself, does this vulnerability create pressure for you to give something? Does it make you ignore facts and act on feeling alone? Does it frame the narrative so questioning them makes you look cruel? Part 1. The allure of the accidental confession. Why does vulnerability disarm us so fast? The trust reflex. When someone reveals pain, your brain often translates it into, they must be honest if they're willing to say something hard. That's a common effect of self-disclosure. It increases perceived closeness. Emotion weakens critical thinking. Strong emotion shifts you from evaluation to rescue mode. Instead of asking, what's missing here, you ask, how do I fix this for them? The "you're the only one I can tell" hook. Few phrases create instant loyalty like, I only trust you with this. It manufactures exclusivity and makes you want to prove you deserve it. Part 2. The architects of controlled exposure. Here are subtle signals that a leak may be strategically deployed, not proof. Think of them as yellow lights. Signal 1. Perfect timing. Right when you set a boundary. You say, I can't do that. I need clarity. I'm not comfortable. And suddenly, an emotional collapse, a painful confession, a dramatic reveal. Result: your boundary softens. Signal 2. Heavy emotion, light responsibility. The story is vivid, but dodges questions like, what are you doing to change this? What part do you own? What's the next concrete step? Real vulnerability usually contains at least a trace of accountability. Signal 3. Language that creates moral debt. Phrases like, after everything I've done, I just need you to understand. If you leave, I don't know what I'll do. They can turn you into a caretaker, not a partner, not a peer. Signal 4. Drip feeding to control emotional temperature. Not a natural share, more like controlled releases at moments that keep you engaged, curious, protective. Case studies. Vulnerability used as leverage. Case 1. The influencer apology aesthetic. You see it. Apology. Red eyes. Shaky voice. Perfectly framed. Key question. Are they sorry for the harm, or sorry they were caught? When vulnerability is weaponized, it shifts the spotlight from what I did to you, what you're doing to me by criticizing me. It flips victimhood, pulls the audience into soothing instead of evaluating. Case 2. Business/negotiation vulnerability. You ask for a fair term. They respond, honestly, I'm under so much stress. I'm barely sleeping. Things are really hard. Maybe that's true, but here's the issue. Emotion is being used to replace data. Negotiation requires numbers, risk, accountability, terms. Emotion can be real, and still be irrelevant to the contract. Case 3. A friend or partner who cries to reset accountability. You address a repeated behavior. They break down. You end up comforting them. The topic, what they did, disappears. Now the relationship runs on emotional thermostat control. Whoever escalates emotion controls the room. Part 3. Goals and gains. What do they get? Behind strategic emotional leaks are common objectives. Sympathy shortcut. Skip competence and credibility, go straight to compassion. Reciprocity pressure. They gave you a secret. You feel you owe something back. Trust, forgiveness, access. False intimacy. You feel deeply bonded after one intense disclosure, even if you barely know them. Information extraction. When you soften, you reveal more. Plans, vulnerabilities, finances, relationships. Reputation laundering. They become someone in pain, which makes criticism look cruel. Part 4. The invisible strings long-term effects. When you keep responding to strategic vulnerability, 3 things happen. You're trained into emotional caretaking. Their feelings become your job. Standards collapse. Rote wrong gets replaced by who's hurting more. You start doubting yourself. Am I cold? Even when you're just setting a boundary. The cleanest manipulation is the one that convinces you, if I don't comply, I'm a bad person. Part V. Build your shield. Empathy with boundaries. Here's a practical 7-step framework. You don't need to become a detective. Just control your pace. Step 1. Pause, 10 seconds. When you feel pulled emotionally, don't decide immediately. Give your brain time to return from rescue mode. Step 2. Label the feeling. I feel pity. I feel guilt. I feel pressure. Naming it reduces its control. Step 3. Separate emotion from request. Their feelings may be real, but their ask, money, access, forgiveness, a signature, belongs in a separate lane. Step 4. Ask accountability questions. Neutral, not hostile. Try. Thank you for telling me. What do you need specifically? What's your plan to handle this going forward? What will you do differently starting today? Genuine vulnerability often leads to actions and commitments. Strategic vulnerability often circles back to feelings to avoid responsibility. Step 5. Set a bounded form of support. You can be kind without surrendering. I can listen for 20 minutes, but I can't decide for you. I understand, but for business we need terms and numbers. I need 24 hours before I answer. Step 6. Verify consistency over time. Don't judge by one emotional moment. Watch the pattern. Do they respect your no? Do words match actions? Do emotional leaks appear mainly when they want something? Step 7. Exit cleanly if needed. I hear you, but I'm not agreeing to that. I hope you get support, but I can't be the solution here. Let's pause this conversation until we're both calm. Green flags. What genuine vulnerability looks like. They share without immediately attaching a demand. They don't punish you for having boundaries. They include responsibility and next steps. They respect time and space. They don't recruit you as an unpaid therapist. Real vulnerability usually leaves you feeling clearer and closer. Strategic vulnerability often leaves you feeling obligated and confused. Remember this: a sincere person shares to be understood. A strategic person shares to control your response. You don't have to become cold, you just have to become anchored. If you've ever experienced a moment of perfect vulnerability, drop it in the comments. What did it make you do, and what did you realize later?